Welcome, everyone, to the Moderately Interesting Podcast. The only podcast that's writes its scripts in metal so Ruin can't mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your host, Aaron.
And I'm Mitch.
Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't write it in metal today, so all the scripts messed up. Thanks a lot, Ruin.
Yeah, you idiot. Not you. Ruin's the
My
idiot.
fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. Hey, play the theme song. It's my fault. Oh, Mitch, this is we're just gonna chill today.
Yeah, today's just what do we call it? We had a name for it.
It's we had a name for it. Did we already have a name for it?
No, I don't think we do.
I don't think we have a name for this one. This is just the Moderately Interesting Podcast, folks.
These are the topics we find moderately interesting.
This is moderately interesting.
Yeah.
So
We got just some random things today that we want to talk about, but they're good.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, where do you want to start today?
We're gonna start from the beginning.
From the beginning of time.
From the beginning of time, there was an apple. The apple fell from the tree and it hit Sir Isaac Newton in the head.
And that's how gravity was formed.
And that's how Sir Isaac Newton invented gravity. And ever since then, he's pissed off a lot of people.
Yep.
I like. Have you ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so funny.
I want to read it.
It's like, in the beginning, God created the universe. This has been highly regarded as a mistake, and people have blamed God for that ever since.
I have watched the movie, but it's been a while.
The movie's okay. It's not...
I remember the dolphins.
Dolphins, so long and thanks for all the fish. So long and thanks for all the fish. Yeah.
I heard the book is much better, though.
The book is pretty freaking...
Per usual.
Hilarious.
It's always how it is.
Is there ever a time where the movie's better than the book?
I can think of one time.
Okay, what's your one time? Go.
Holes.
Holes? Better than the book. I think it's just as good as the book. I don't know if
I don't know if it's better than the book, but it's just as good.
I don't know if I'd go with better.
I can't think of a time where a movie has been better than the book.
I've been told that the Last of the Mohicans movie is better than the book.
Okay. Yeah, it has to be a book that I've read. So that's the other thing. It's like I can't judge unless I've read the book.
I might say The Prestige.
I didn't know that was a book.
It's a book, yeah, by Christopher Nolan.
Okay. That book or that movie is fantastic.
The movie's fantastic. The only problem is the book is just very different than the book.
Right.
It's like very, very different. So it's kind of even like...
So is it like some of those? It's like, is it based on the book?
Yeah, it's like different.
Yeah,
because like in the book, you are. It's kind of like an Assassin's Creed kind of thing, where like you have like your modern day, like you have like the like main character, and like you're going back in time to hear the story about like the other, the two magicians,
right?
And like it turns out that like the guy in the book is like the modern day character is like the descendant of one of the magicians, and then there's a girl and she's just the descendant of like Hugh Jackman's magician character. And so
they're going back and like seeing the histories of
like
their ancestors.
They're both going back in time and they're reading like the others like diaries and stuff like that, and that's how like you're doing this. And it's just very different.
Yeah.
But it's good in a different way. I think like I prefer the movie's story though, because it's a little more like, even though that movie's really weird, it's a little more streamlined, less convoluted somehow. Like, I can think of
one right now. This one might be an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit. The book or the movie's better than the book.
Yeah, and I will defend
Go ahead. Yeah,
what I'm saying because I don't want it to go the wrong way.
This all of a sudden just became an unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Go.
Unpopular opinions.
Yeah.
I read the whole book, and it was written, if I remember correctly, it was written for children.
Correct.
So the only reason I say that the movie is better is because the movie, and I know that they added a lot of stuff to the movie and did a lot of different things. They extended it to 3 movies, obviously, and but it was just more exciting, and it was more the audience in mind was adults, like longtime Lord of the Rings fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they messed some stuff up and a lot of people aren't happy about some things. I don't know the specifics. I've just heard through the grapevine.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm not a big Lord of the Rings person.
Uh-huh.
I do enjoy it, but I'm not like, I don't know the lore. I don't know the details.
Right.
But yeah, as far as like, if I'm comparing from someone that's not a big Lord of the Rings fan, it's like I read The Hobbit and I'm kind of bored, and then I watch The Hobbit and I'm not bored. So that's kind of the bulk of it, I guess.
Okay, I guess I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But
I do know there's like another argument if you are a hardcore, or even like not even hardcore, like just an intermediate Lord of the Rings person. I know that there's another argument there.
Sure, yeah. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And I think it's kind of the same where the book is written differently than the movie is told. Because there's a lot of stuff that they skipped, if I remember right.
There's a lot of stuff where, like, for The Hobbit, like, I think so the movie, like, the Hobbit book was written first for Tolkien to tell his kids a bedtime story.
Yeah.
And then he made the Lord of the Rings, and while he was making the Lord of the, so before he was making the Lord of the Rings, he was working on this epic, which eventually became like the Lord of the Rings.
Right.
And then he realized when he was trying to make a sequel to The Hobbit, which took him forever, that the sequel to The Hobbit is going to be this epic that he had been working on for years.
Okay.
And so then once he realized that, he like connected the two. Right. That's why The Hobbit definitely feels more like a kid's story.
Yeah.
But it's fine, and like I'm not gonna go over like all of this right now. But I think the problem with the films is the films had the problem of, we made the Lord of the Rings, and the Lord of the Rings movies are extremely popular. And so we need to take this other IP and we need to make it feel like it is part of the Lord of the Rings and not part of not the Hobbit, essentially.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big problem for the movie, where they kind of don't know what to do tone-wise at times with the movie.
Right.
Where they're like, okay, we're gonna because at times they embrace the childhood fantasy of it, and then at other times they quickly switch the scene to Saruman and necromancer and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they don't really know what to do with that. But yeah, they add a bunch of stuff too. They add some unfinished tales into the Hobbit movie, because in the original Hobbit book, Gandalf is like, all right, I got other stuff I gotta do. I'll see you guys later, maybe, I don't know. Right. And then we don't see him again until the end when he comes back. Whereas in the movies, we see him go and fight the necromancer, who turns out to be Sauron, and stuff like that. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's different. It's just different, and yeah.
So in a I guess, make sure I'm understanding. The intention of the movies may have been to create a prequel to the Lord of the Rings.
Right. It's
movies.
I guess that's the thing, is in the year 2021, or anytime after the movies came out, mm-hmm. If you heard about The Hobbit, you probably were told The Hobbit is a prequel to the Lord of the Rings, which is factually correct.
Yeah.
But really, The Hobbit is more of a spin-off prequel to the Lord of the Rings.
Right.
And
It
like
does directly tie in
yeah,
with Gollum and Bilbo and
yeah,
that, but
100%
yeah,
ties into that. But like, yeah, it's just a whole different kind of flavor,
right.
kind of a thing.
That makes sense.
And so when they made the movie, though, they made the movie with the intention of like, no, this has to be a prequel to the Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Um, which
Or
is like,
people won't get it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there that haven't read it and don't understand that.
Right. Yeah. That's
And I would say I've read it, but I didn't really understand it that way. I just
yeah.
kind of like, that was much more exciting than
It's like very difficult almost to like tell that to people where you're like, no, it's like it is like it is a prequel. Like 'cause people are like, I thought it was a prequel, and you're like, yeah, it is, but like it's like because the events happened before,
right.
but like the events are also like 50 years before the Lord of the Rings happens. Like yeah,
And are
it's
much less impactful on
right,
Middle
and like
Earth. It's basically Bilbo finds a ring, then you got the dragon.
yeah, it's not a story about the end of Middle Earth. It's not a story about like kingdoms falling, mankind needs to unite, the elves are dying. It's just like no,
Like,
it's about these
yeah.
guys. It's about these dwarves who want to go home, and Bilbo who is kind of a stick in the mud, and he goes on a journey. He goes on a quest, and he figures out who he is. He grows. He comes back home,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's it. There and back again.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah,
Learn something new every day.
yeah.
We did not have that discussion planned.
We did not. Not at all. Because we didn't write it in metal.
Ah,
It's Ruin's fault.
Aaron recently finished Mistborn.
I did. I finished Mistborn. Made me cry. It was a beautiful, beautiful ending.
Crazy ending.
If you haven't read Mistborn, go read Mistborn. The whole shebang. The whole trilogy. The Final Empire. Well of Ascension. The Hero of Ages.
And then go read Secret History after that.
While we're talking about Mistborn,
Uh-huh.
I just want to again another unscripted thing.
Yeah.
All of the Mistborn covers suck.
Oh, they're terrible.
They're terrible. Like all of them though.
There's like so the ones that I have are like I don't know if it's real people, but it's like a picture of a girl.
Is it like the one where Vin, where she's like got her daggers out? Like,
yeah, I think so.
And like there's like the mist around her. Maybe she doesn't have her daggers out, but she's kind of like.
There's like one that's more cartoony, and then there's one that's more realistic, and I have the one that's realistic.
Okay.
She's like just standing there. She might have her daggers out. I don't.
That one
with me.
That one is like the best one, I think.
Uh-huh.
But then the other two,
it's still bad though.
The other two for the Wall of Ascension and Hero of Ages, those are bad. The other two are bad. Like that one for the Final Empire is good, but like the other two, hang on.
I don't know if it's the same one because the ones I have, they look like they could, the romance novels that you walk past in Walmart.
Is it look like the YA one?
Weird looking, not weird looking, but just like models or people on the front.
Uh-huh.
It looks like that.
Hang on. I want to know for sure which one you have, so I'm going to send you a picture.
And then there's like the modern ones, like the new versions, the paperbacks that are, it looks like a piece of metal shattering into glass or something.
I hate those ones. Those ones
are stupid.
Those ones are really dumb. And those are the ones that you get on Kindle.
All right, those are not the ones that I have, but those are actually really cool.
So I like that first one. I think was really good. The second one is okay. Not my favorite. But the third one, the Hero of Ages one, makes her look like she's 12.
Yeah.
Like that one's not a good one. Like,
is that a Colossus that she's standing over?
Yeah, that's supposed to be a Cola. Yeah. So do you have? I'm guessing you have this one then. Now I say this, but the British versions are actually really good.
British versions are usually better.
Yeah. This is the one that you have. I'm guessing.
Yep, that's the one.
That's the one, and that one's good. But it's like the Well of Ascension one and the Hero of Ages ones look I think those ones look too like romance YA.
Yeah, because Ellen is on the cover. I think he's on the cover of both.
Uh, but if you look at
I can't remember.
hang on, I'm gonna send you some cool ones. This is the Polish Mistborn cover. Check this out.
The other thing, when I go into reading a book, I don't like to see unless it's like let me like rephrase what I'm saying. This is the Polish one?
That's the Polish one.
Yeah, that one's cool too.
And then
That one's probably the best.
This is like
I love seeing the mist coat, or is that what it's called? Mist coat? Mist cloak?
Mist Cloak. I think this is their version of the Hero of Age. Yeah, this is the version of the Hero of Ages. Kind of hard to see a little bit because it's the
much better though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those ones are really cool, and like those ones have Ellen in it, and they look really like that one looks really cool. I don't know.
The ones that I have are not.
I don't know what it is about Mistborn, and it just cannot get a good it cannot get a good cover, and it makes me sad. But like I've seen the Wax and Wayne ones, and those ones are better. I mean, having not read Wax and Wayne yet, those ones look better. Mistborn Secret History, that one looks cool. Like the one where it's just by itself. Like I don't know if you've seen that one.
I have seen it. Yeah,
that one looks cool too. So it's like they got better, but like up until now, that we need a new printing of Mistborn, and they need good covers because I 100% judge a book by its cover.
One thing and so this is kind of the thing I wanted to say about this.
Okay.
I don't like when there's like inaccuracies or different versions of covers, unless it's like I've seen a bunch of different Harry Potter covers, and it's like they're usually consistent. They're the same story, whatever. But with this one, like if you look at those pictures, obviously the listeners can't see them, but Vin's got like 3 different types of daggers.
Yeah.
It's like one of those details when you're going into the book. The one that I have, she's got like, I don't remember what you call them, but it's like the ninja daggers, the Ninja Turtle daggers.
The sides, like the 3-point, like.
Yeah, the 3-point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's got those in the one that I have. So that's what I had in mind when I read it. But then I like the other covers better, where it's kind of like a rough cut obsidian dagger, almost like a spearhead.
I like that one. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. And that looks cooler to me. But I don't like when there's that, and then also just like I like when I like picturing the people in my head, the way they look in my head, more than I don't like seeing them on a cover.
Yeah,
some artist depiction of them.
I don't mind that too much, but like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
But it needs to be done. It needs to be done well. Like the Stormlight Archive. I love all the covers of the Stormlight Archive.
Yeah.
I know that we've talked about ranking them.
Yeah.
But I like what the characters look like on all of those, and it's a consistent artist. The artist is the same for every single.
Yeah, they
book.
are. Okay, I'm gonna rank the Stormlight covers real quick. Even though nobody's asking for this,
I am.
Okay. Number 1, 4. Rhythm of War. We talked about this the other day. Rhythm of War has the best cover. Number 2, Words of Radiance. Number 3, The Way of Kings. Number 4, Oathbringer.
Cool.
Okay. You want to rank them?
Yeah. I like Way of Kings, number 1.
Okay.
Probably do Words of Radiance 2 or Rhythm of War 2. They're kind of tied. And then Oathbringer's the last one.
Okay.
Rhythm of War is cool. When you read it, it might change your opinion on it.
Okay.
Not because anything bad happens, but I can discuss it when you've read it.
I mean, I'm assuming like that scene, if like that scene is in the book, I'm assuming it takes place in the Shadesmar.
Yeah.
So Brando Sando, if you are listening, please figure out a way to get better Mistborn covers. Because it's kind of it's bad. I'm not gonna lie. I just think it's. I mean, maybe it's not like I don't think it's Brandon's fault. I think it might just be the publishers
Yeah.
and they don't know how to market this. They're like, is this a YA book? Is it like a teen romance? Is it a fantasy? Because like if you look at these different covers, it looks like they're
They're
trying to
different books.
they're trying to cover different bases.
Yeah.
Like that, like the one that I first sent you, like where Vin's in like the smoky background, like
Mm-hmm.
that one's very YA. Like,
Oh yeah. It almost
and
looks like his that other series he has, like Starlight, Star
yeah,
something like that.
yeah, I know what you're
Anyways,
talking about. Yeah,
it looks more like towards that age group.
yeah, and then the one that you have, like the pinkish background than blue, that one looks more like it could be like a romance novel.
It literally looks like one of those that you'd find in the romance section at Walmart.
Yeah, and then the like original cover, it makes it look like a fantasy novel, but it makes it look like a old fantasy novel, not a modern fantasy novel.
Right.
So like, yeah, we need to get this fixed. We need to get this fixed right now.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's got to
right
be
now.
someone at the. It's got to be someone at the publishers.
Yeah, I
Well,
wonder. I would love to talk to Brandon and be like, so like, there has to be a story behind this because like none of your other books have this problem.
yeah.
Like,
I would
everything
say
else.
Elantris kind of has that problem.
I think the original cover of Elantris like gets that message across of like, this is a fantasy book, like
Yeah.
kind of a thing. I mean, like I don't know. I haven't seen too many covers for
Or not
Elantris.
Elantris, Warbreaker. Sorry.
Warbreaker. Okay. I've seen. Yeah, I mean, I don't have
The
the
one where
original.
it's like a girl. I have one, and the cover is a kind of the same as the Mistborn one I have. The
Mhm.
girl's like laying there with her eyes closed, and she's got like this rainbow colored
Yeah,
dress kind
I
of
think that's
fluttering around.
I think that's supposed to be. I think that's supposed to be like Siri.
It is Siri,
Yeah.
but it
Uh.
looks like a romance novel on the outside.
Yeah.
It's
That
another
one.
one that I'm like, this is a weird cover.
Yeah, I have the British version of Warbreaker, and that one is very good. Like that's a really good one.
It's called
Um.
Warbreaker,
Yeah.
and it looks like a romance novel. Like that's where you got to fix something. Like you got the coolest sword possibly in fantasy history,
Right.
and it doesn't have anything to do with the cover.
Yeah. Which is why the Warbreaker leatherbound looks fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think they got to do something because yeah, I think Mistborn, if it has the second Mistborn has a good cover, that's when the movie comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, if a Mistborn movie does come out, that might be like one of the benefits is we'll get a reprinting
Yeah.
with like a better cover on it because it's gonna be like now a major motion picture, like
Right.
um or whatever.
One thing too with covers, and then we can move on because
Okay. I know we're like
talking too much.
I enjoy it, but I'm sure nobody else enjoys talking
Yeah.
about
It's like the people that are listening are probably
tune in next
fast forward.
tune in next week where we discussed hardback versus paperback.
And then we're going to talk about our favorite bookmarks
Oh, dude,
because
I can talk about that.
yeah, I can too actually. Yeah, what was I going to say? Oh, so with the Stormlight Archives, I really like that they're consistent and it's part of the identity of the books.
Yes.
And I brought up Harry Potter earlier. Harry Potter, you could literally put just the color scheme of the book and people will be able to tell you what book it is.
Yeah, they did a good job with that.
Yeah. And I'm just talking about the American versions. There's
Right,
obviously
right.
different versions, but those ones, like, it's part of the identity of the book. And they've done different covers over the last like 10 years where they'll come out with some like paperback bundle and it's all
Right.
different.
It's all the same. Like it's all like
Yeah.
one bland, like not bland, but it's just like one. Yeah. I like. It's funny. Like you could be like, which Harry Potter book is blue,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, Order of the Phoenix.
Yep.
Which
Green, and there's two of them.
Half-Blood Prince is
Or
the
Goblet of
primary,
Fire.
or Goblet of Fire. Yeah, that one's the Half-Blood Prince is a darker green, and then it's like a green black. Whereas Goblet of Fire is like green and yellow, green and like
It's got a little
orange.
brown in there. And
little brown, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. But that's one thing that I'd like to see with any book that I read is like consistency with the covers
Yeah, I agree.
and part of the identity, because I want it to be something. If you want it to be successful, you gotta do something like that.
Yeah. Also on these, like, I know that these are like the mass market paperback versions of Brandon's of the Mistborn, where like it has like the window cracking, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
Like this, it's stupid. What is this even? Like, what is this?
yeah,
I hate these because it's just like what I've read these books. I don't know what you're like referencing or alluding to.
yeah. It might be
Like,
some symbol that he is in his head or in the whoever's the artist.
yeah.
What I don't know, but
So
yeah,
like
I get what you're saying.
the one with the window breaking. I'm like, is that supposed to be when Kelsier like tries to break into the Lord Ruler's palace? Like, is
Or
that
is
what
it
that's?
like an empire falling?
Yeah. Like I don't get that. The Well of Ascension. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I haven't really even looked at the other two. I just
And
know that
so yeah,
they're not.
and
Yeah.
then and so like that one, I'm like, okay, maybe that's like supposed to be like the power in the Well of Ascension. I
Mhm.
don't know. And then the third one, the Hero of Ages, I'm like, I have no idea what that's supposed to be. This is
Yeah.
stupid. I hate them. Oh, but I love the book
The
series.
books are amazing.
The
Yeah.
books themselves are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's enough ranting about
Book covers.
book covers.
There's
For
your
now.
take on book covers.
For now, we'll come back to a similar topic at some
We
point.
got a little under 10,000 episodes left. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, Mitch. It's
Yeah.
your turn. It's your time to shine.
Mitch's minute.
Mitch's minute.
Oh, okay.
Start the 24 counter now.
I've been thinking about this for the last few days because I wanted this to be something cool.
Okay.
And also, yeah. We've been talking about Harry Potter quite a bit
Yes.
in these episodes.
Yes.
I went on my Half-Blood Prince rant. You went on your Power Scale rant. Wonderful topics. And we're going to talk more about Harry Potter today.
Yeah, we are actually going to talk about Harry Potter again today.
And
even more so.
Yeah. This one is I would call it a fan theory. I don't even remember where I first heard about this. I know I've read about it a little bit on the internet years ago. But there's a theory out there that I am somewhat convinced of, that J K Rowling is Rita Skeeter.
Okay.
Have you heard that one before?
No, I haven't.
Oh. And she was in her beetle form during all of Harry's life, writing it down. And then she commercialized on it. Capitalized on it. What do you want to say? How do you say that? She made a profit from the telling of Harry's life.
Right. So wait, are you trying to say that Harry Potter is real and
that Harry Potter exists?
Harry Potter exists, and she's actually a wizard who has profited by selling the story to the locals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she was able to get all of the details, and she probably fudged a little bit of it. She probably, because she doesn't tell. She's fake news, and she likes to exaggerate things a little bit. So there might be some stuff in the books that are a little bit off. But yeah, what do you think?
I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I don't think so, because I don't think Harry Potter makes sense a lot of the time. So it kind of, to me, reads like somebody who made it up, not a real world.
Maybe she still wants to keep it a secret, so she's.
I mean, hey, maybe she's super smart.
She's bluffing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'll call it a fun theory.
It is a fun theory.
I'll call it a fun theory.
Yeah, I don't think Harry Potter's real, but it's kind of a fun theory tying the Harry Potter universe to the real world.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It makes sense. It's funny. It's like she turns into a beetle.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess. Yeah.
And she spies on everything.
She spies on
Who's to say that she didn't just do that? And she was at Dursley's house all summer.
The whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why the Dursley house went up for sale a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beetle infestation.
Where's J K Rowling?
Where is she?
Where is she?
She doesn't exist. It's not a real name.
It's not her. Her name's Joe.
All right. Well, that was my minute.
Okay.
And
Interesting minute. I will. Yeah, I officially will say that's a fun theory.
I would say 10 out of 10. It's real.
Okay.
Because no, I'm just joking.
Because you heard it here first.
It's not really
Mitch thinks there's wizards out there, people.
I'm crazy.
Tweet at Mitch and tell him he's crazy.
I'm like the teacher on the Fairly Odd Parents.
Fairly Godparents.
Fairly Godparents.
They said I was crazy. They said I was whack. They said I would never find Fairy Godparents.
Wizards.
Okay. Now that you've done Mitch's minutes, I'm gonna do an Aaron antic for a second.
All right.
That's gonna be longer than a second.
Mm-hmm.
So lately, after recording podcasts and just in our general free time, Mitch and I have started to play Sea of Thieves together,
mm-hmm.
and it's been a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Been a lot of fun. We're just pirates.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. Yarg. X marks the spot. The whole 9 yards. We do Voxer a lot, which is like for those of you who don't know, it's a walkie-talkie app on our phones, and so a lot of our communications are just Yarg. When you're ready, we're gonna go be pirates.
Yarg.
Yarg. It's been a lot of fun. I think it's safe to say, Mitch, that we've both been having. I think it's safe to assume, that we've both been having a lot of fun playing that game.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't played it, I think you should definitely go try it. That is not what this is about. This is just the prelude, the prologue leading into the main story.
Right.
Which is just whenever you play a pirate game, you're going to start pretending to be a pirate. You're going to act like a pirate, and inevitably you're going to want to rewatch Pirates of the Caribbean.
And you're going to accidentally buy the National Geographic special on pirates when you're at the Dollar General.
Exactly.
Just getting milk. And then I end up spending $15 because I want
pirates.
Yeah.
So we want to be pirates. Everybody
guilty
wants to be
as charged.
Yarg.
Yarg.
Yarg. So, because of our recent piracy, being pirates, I decided to rewatch Pirates of the Caribbean on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of fun. Rewatched Pirates of the Caribbean, The Black Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot of fun. Elizabeth!
That's not good enough.
Miss Turner, you are by far the worst pirate I've ever heard of. But you have heard of me. Just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Who makes all these swords? I do, and I practice with them 3 hours each day. Yeah.
You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner.
You're
in one.
Yeah, exactly. Bootstrap Bill.
Bootstraps.
Yeah. Anybody's just parlay.
We'll just quote the movie for 10 more minutes.
Yeah, exactly. What was I going with? Oh, yeah. I enjoyed watching Pirates of the Caribbean, and I just decided, why not? I'm just going to watch all of these movies because I've never seen the last one that came out.
Did you watch all 5?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
What one are you on?
I just finished number 2. I just finished Dead Man's Chest. Dead Man's Chest. Dead man tell no tales.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going through them because I was just like, oh, okay, because Disney Plus doesn't have them labeled as Pirates 1, Pirates 2, Pirates 3.
Right.
So it's just oh, okay, I know the first 3. I know it's Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, and The World Ends With You. No, not The World Ends With You.
At World's End.
At World's End, yeah. Mm-hmm. I know that's the 3.
The World Ends With You sounds like a James Bond title.
I think that is a James Bond title.
Yeah.
No, wait, that's a video game. The World Ends With You.
Okay.
But then I was just like, oh, okay. Which one's the 4th one and which one's the 5th one? I'm not 100% positive on that. And so I was just like looking it up, and I was like, oh, okay, Stranger Tides. That's the fourth one. Okay, cool. So I was just like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm looking for it on Disney Plus, and it's not on there.
It's not there?
It's not on Disney Plus.
Why?
I don't know. And I was like, wait a minute. I thought this was the point of Disney Plus was
The vault.
you play money and you have access to pretty much everything Disney has made.
Yeah.
But apparently we've all been lied to because Stranger Tides is not on Disney Plus. I have searched for it on both the Apple TV through Apple TV and on my phone through a web browser just in case. I don't know why. I just did that, and like, no, it is not on there. You have to go to a third party or own the movie in some other way because it is not on Disney Plus.
It says that I'm looking it up right now. It says that it's available on Hulu.
Okay, but why is it not on Disney Plus?
I don't know. It might be there might be some like contract that it's playing on Hulu for a while or something.
There's no. Okay, maybe. I mean, maybe. I mean,
well, Disney owns Hulu, so I don't know why that's a problem.
First of all, Disney owns Hulu. Second of all, you're telling me Hulu went, yo, we just yo ho ho, we just want Stranger Tides. We don't want the first three. We want the fourth one. Like
take what you can.
Give nothing back. Is that what happened? Is like Hulu is just like
the Tortuga of the streaming services.
Oh man. First, yeah, maybe it is. But why Stranger Tides, the most forgettable one?
Yeah, minus Penelope Cruz.
I mean, yes, but it's still, even with Penelope Cruz, it's still the most forgettable one.
It's definitely the most forgettable one. I don't even remember what happens in that one.
Because you are just like, okay, there's the first three. I remember those ones. Oh, okay, the new one came out. Whether you saw that one or not, you're like, I know the new one came out. But then you have to go like, oh, no, wait, there was a fourth one. Like, it's the most forgettable one. Like, I remember the fourth one was like mermaids. I remember mermaids being a part of it. And like, there was like a priest. And like he like leaves Jack because he's like, I'm gonna go live with the mermaids.
He wants to go hook up with the mermaids.
Yeah, he wants to go hook up with the mermaids, which is super weird, but I mean, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I remember he was just like a random character that no one cared about, and it was like, all right, go with the mermaids. We don't.
That's fine. Go with the mermaids.
We want more Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Is Barbossa in that one?
I think he's like at the very end of that one. I mean, I've only seen it once.
Barbossa's in the fifth one.
I mean, I haven't seen the fifth one yet.
Part of it.
Spoiler alert. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, it's not really a spoiler. He's in all of them, I think.
Yeah, I think in the fourth one he like comes back, but okay. I mean, I don't remember because I haven't seen it, and so I'm like, I'm not trying to look it up right now because like I want to kind of go into it again like as spoiler free to like kind of a thing. But yeah, it's just like super annoying that like, I mean, you guys have like they advertise this as basically like all of Disney.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure like, you know, people are like, hey, what does it matter? It's a crappy Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It's not even like, if it was like The Black Pearl, then maybe like this argument, but it's like, well, wait a minute. No, this is what, like, why?
If that's the argument, then they need to take the Fantastic Four off of Disney Plus, not the original two, the one with the Silver Surfer and,
the Chris Evans one?
The Chris Evans one. The other one with, I don't even know who they are. Michael B. Jordan's in it.
Yeah. But
Pass.
Yeah, I don't get what happened here. I don't know why. I mean, you know what, guys? Tune in next week because next week I'm going to go on to Disney Plus's customer service and I am going to ask what the deal is.
Yes.
And I will report back on that because I find it bizarre. And I mean, maybe by the end of this whole tale will be more entertaining than the actual fourth Pirates of the Caribbean movie was.
Mm-hmm.
But I am searching for Pirates of the Caribbean, Aaron of the Pirates of the Caribbean, the search for Jack Sparrow.
The search for Jack Sparrow, and
And
The
the
Search.
Stranger Tides.
In the Stranger Tides.
In the Stranger. Okay. Yeah. So
That's the one where they go look for the Fountain of Youth.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, and
Because
then
he's looking at the map.
Isn't
at
Blackbeard
the end of the third one?
Isn't Blackbeard in that one too? Like that's like Penelope Cruz's like dad.
Oh yeah, it's what's his name?
That one guy.
It's the guy from Hot Rod.
I was gonna say I just know it's the stepdad from Hot Rod.
Yeah.
And then y'all respect me, Frank.
Frank. Real men grow mustaches. Yeah. Yeah.
Have fun being married to Satan. And I'm really sorry about the window.
Yeah, it's Frank.
Anyways, yeah, that's my antic, I guess, for the week.
Aaron's antics,
which is like, yeah, I'm just very confused, people. And if anybody knows the answer, let me know.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, so I would love to hear back when you reach out to customer service.
We'll revisit this at next week.
Cool. And we'll judge their customer service, see how fast they get back to us.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah.
All right, Mitch. We have the big one, the one that we've been teasing. Cage match.
Cage match.
Nobody leaves until we work this out. Cage match.
It's the Battle of Chris's.
The Battle of Chris's.
To the death.
I came prepared.
Oh, okay. If you came prepared, I will let you pick your Chris first. Pick your champion.
Wait, I want to do it on the count of 3 because if I give you my Chris, then you might change your Chris.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't have a Chris.
Okay.
And I don't want to take your Chris.
Well, so if we have the same Chris, that'd be even better. Because there's a lot of Chris's out there.
There are a lot of Chris's out there. Okay, one.
Wait. I'll give you 10 seconds to think of a Chris.
Okay, I got a couple Chris's in my head now.
Okay. Think of the first one.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Chris Farley. Chris Farley versus Christopher Walken. Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers got a hug.
You know, this watch belonged to your father, and I shoved it up my ass. Go ahead and present your arguments for Chris Farley. I am impressed with your Chris. I will say that.
Mm-hmm. So Chris Farley, if we're in a cage match situation, is the best man for the job because he can go into psycho mode.
Yeah, it's
if you've
true.
seen the Down by the River skit, you know what I'm talking about.
Living off of government cheese.
Uh-huh. Or even just when he tears up the roll at the diner in Tommy Boy. Naughty pet. Naughty.
You're mine, pet. You're mine. And then I love it. And then I squeeze it. And then... Oh no, I murdered it. I murdered my sale. Yeah, that's my Chris Farley.
Yep, he will come in there with road flares strapped to his body looking like dynamite. And he's unpredictable.
Yeah, it's true.
He'll do anything to win.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips as a kid?
Why?
Okay, before we proceed, best...
Wait, I have to say one more thing.
Okay.
He has been moderately trained as a ninja.
Okay. Which leads into my next question of best / your favorite Chris Farley movie.
Oh, Tommy Boy, hands down.
Tommy Boy. That's a good one. That is a good one.
That's my favorite one, but I think he's great in everything he's ever been in.
You know, Richard, a lot of people go to college for 7 years.
Yeah, they're called doctors.
Okay.
Hey, Gilligan, did you eat the skipper?
Yeah, that one's great. Classic. I do love Beverly Hills Ninja.
Black Sheep is good.
Black Sheep, hilarious.
He's good in Billy Madison.
I was gonna just say, probably my favorite role of him though is the bus driver in Billy Madison. That Veronica Vaughn's. I know a guy, and him and her got it on. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. But you can imagine what it'd be like if they did. I will say my favorite Chris Farley movie though is Almost Heroes.
I don't think I've seen that one.
With Matthew Perry.
Okay.
It is sadly Chris Farley's final movie that he made in his life.
Right.
And it is about Chris Farley, Matthew Perry are the two people who are racing Lewis and Clark to map a path to the Pacific Ocean.
That sounds amazing.
It's hilarious.
I've heard of that.
I mean, I wouldn't be
Maybe
surprised.
I've seen it. I think I've seen it on TV.
I wouldn't be surprised if I was the one who told you about it, honestly.
You might, yeah.
It might have been that. But yeah, it is so funny, so hilarious. I just watched it like a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago when my friend was in town because we used to watch that movie together all the time.
Uh-huh.
So that's probably my favorite. I love Tommy Boy. I love Beverly Hills Ninja. So many funny movies. That's a good one.
All of his Saturday Night Live stuff is good.
Yeah, his best of Chris Farley is probably the best of SNL.
Yeah. Yeah, he's funny in everything he does.
The lunch lady.
The lunch lady.
Slap it, Joe. Slap it, Joe. I mean, you can make an argument that's a Adam Sandler skit, but it's Chris Farley that really makes it.
Now, if we're going to choose the best David, I would go David Spade because he took out Chris Farley on the side of the road.
That's true. Do I have a mark right
with
here?
With a 2x4.
It doesn't hurt so much here or here, but right here. Nope, ship shape. Oh my God, what happened to your face? I knew it!
I'm going to go watch that.
Oh, man. Okay. I picked Christopher Walken.
Yep.
One, because Christopher Walken is the only one in the whole world who can walk around and say, I'm walking here! Mm-hmm. And, like, actually mean it. So, I think that's a bonus point right there, right off the bat.
Okay.
Two, Christopher Walken, he's just got such a great way of speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it makes even the most amateurish impersonators an opportunity to shine.
Very good job on that, by the way.
So I think that's a point right there.
Chris Farley, you just have to yell really loud.
Yeah, you're just going to yell really hard.
Breathe in some paint thinner and yell.
There's that. There is the fact that he shoved the pocket watch up his ass.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty great. I mean, like, Christopher Walken has been in so many just different roles.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in a Tarantino movie, like we've already said.
Adam Sandler movies. That right there is like the biggest contrast.
He has also been the head of a what do you call not pinball, what do you call it? Not like, what is that called? Not tennis, not
ping pong.
Ping pong. He was the head of a underground ping pong tournament to the death.
Wow. Oh yeah.
That was a pretty funny movie where he's like, it's sudden death, and then they play, and then the guy loses, and then they kill them, and people are like, oh my gosh, and he's like, I told you, it's sudden death.
Have you seen Blast from the Past?
I don't think I have.
With Brendan Fraser.
Oh, I love Brendan Fraser though.
You will love that movie.
Love Brendan Fraser.
Christopher Walken is his dad.
Okay.
In the movie. So yeah, go watch that one.
That's a good one. And then
I think it's on HBO Max.
I will say, as my what the hell? I literally thought there was like somebody in the corner of my eye for a second. I was just like, what the hell? Yeah, I thought there was like somebody standing there. My final argument for Christopher Walken is, yes, Chris Farley's best SNL best of Chris Farley is some of the best SNL ever, but Christopher Walken's "More Cowbell" is the best SNL skit ever.
That's a good argument.
So, you know, it could use more cowbell. And finally, Christopher Walken was Rachel McAdams' father in Wedding Crashers. And I just remembered that right now, and that's my final argument.
Okay. I'm going to say this. This would be my results.
Okay.
If it was purely like hand-to-hand combat, fist fight to the death cage match,
Yes.
my Chris wins.
I think you're right.
If it's tactical, Christopher Walken wins.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this one time only, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In a clean fight, the grilled cheese wins.
The grilled cheese wins.
In a street fight, I'm going to go with the taco.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this was a good fight, well fought. I think now at this point, like American Idol, we're going to turn it over to you, America.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on Instagram, and on Monday, when this is live, go to our Instagram. Go to our Instagram story. There will be a poll, and you vote for either Christopher Walken or Chris Farley.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins the battle of the Chris's? You decide, America.
You decide.
Seacrest out.
I thought for sure we were gonna. Well, I knew I wasn't going to, but I thought the first Chris's that come to mind are like all the Marvel Chris's.
Right, I know. Yeah,
Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth,
that's
Chris Evans, Christopher Pine. He's not in Marvel, but
no, he's in DC. That
DC and Star Trek and whatever.
Star Trek and yeah.
But yeah, great pick.
Great, there we go. Okay, it's time for the final topic of the day.
The final
I almost
topic
called
of
you
the
Chris
day.
right now, Mitch. I almost said Chris right now, and I think that's funny.
I should have chosen my Uncle Chris.
Oh man, I should have chosen my brother Chris. Uh-oh.
Those are the tags. Tag team.
Your uncle helping Chris Farley, my brother helping Chris Walken.
That'd be funny.
That would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Chris Farley.
Rest in peace, Chris Farley. Rest in peace, Christopher Walken. I mean, you're not dead, but you might be taking a nap right now. So
yeah,
if
rest easy.
You know, rest in peace, man. You've done a good job.
You can rest now.
You can rest. You can rest now, Chris.
Thank you.
You know.
Right.
Okay. Our final topic.
Uh-huh.
And it's more Harry Potter.
More Harry Potter.
Yeah. Yeah, so right after we did our Harry Potter Power Makes No Sense, I had a friend send me a video that I watched, and I think I'd seen before, and then I sent it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And now we want to talk about this. So this comes from Brendan from College Humor.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Matt Mercer, kind of did a little, kind of like what we did. I'm sure they did theirs before, but a little, ripping back and forth on Harry Potter.
Uh-huh.
And we're just going to play the audio clip right now. It's like 50 seconds long. Mm-hmm. So here we go.
If you've got a civilization of wizards who can teleport at will, and they have their mail delivered by nature's slowest bird, that's fucking animal cruelty. That's not okay. That's not okay. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say you can't apparate in the grounds of Hogwarts. Why are we running our civilization based on the bylaws of one school?
Yeah.
The idea that I would be able to teleport anywhere with no effort and I would ever write someone a letter is fucking crazy.
If we want to be logistical about the entirety of Harry Potter, Hogwarts is the Illuminati. They run the world because if you can do the things they're doing, why the would they not be just helming the future of society and becoming just an entirely oppressive political force that nobody could argue against?
And also on the flip side, if you're not an oppressive political force, you're just allowing the horrors of the world to happen.
And we're good.
And we're good, yeah. And I want to talk about this a little bit.
Okay.
Because even though I just kind of tore into Harry Potter last week,
Mm-hmm.
I want to defend Harry Potter right now.
Okay.
Because, I mean, the main point of the argument is, if you can apparate anywhere, why would you send a letter?
Yeah.
And number one, because not everybody apparates.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to be fair to the series, J K Rowling made a big point of there are a ton of wizards who are not comfortable / don't possess the skill to apparate.
She also pointed out a lot of the dangers that come with apparition.
Yeah, it's super hard
splicing,
to
splinting,
apparate.
splinting, yeah.
Splinching.
Yep.
Yeah, splinching.
It's there somewhere.
And that sounds like a horrible thing to happen to you of the splinching.
Yeah.
And
just like a giant gash in your arm or leg or neck or face.
Yeah. So one, there's that. Two, there is what was I gonna say? That apparating is probably the most regulated form of magic that we've seen in Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take a test, and it sounds like they are very strict on that test because Ron fails because he splinches his eyebrows, and he failed.
And then he ends up splinching his arm or
then he ends
something.
up ends up really splinching himself later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a super regulated, hey, it's either you pass or you fail. There's no in between, it seems like.
Right.
So there's that. Number two is you can't apparate, as far as I know, and you can't apparate from the UK to America.
Right.
You can I think there's some kind of rule or something like that where it's the more you the farther you apparate, the more difficult it is.
Have you seen Jumper with Hayden Christensen?
A long time ago.
I don't know what the rules are with apparating, but with Jumper, you had to have either seen it, seen the place that you wanted to jump to. Same thing, teleportation.
Right.
Or you had to have been there before.
Right.
And I don't know if that's the same case with apparating.
I don't think it's explicitly that is the rules, but I think it's heavily implied.
Yeah.
Because in the sixth book, when Harry is taking the apparating course,
yeah,
they're you have to visualize it in your mind.
You have to visualize where you want to go.
Yeah, where you want to go.
Because they're just trying to go into a hula hoop.
That's why they're the hula hoop is where you're trying to go, and it's 3 feet in front of you, dummy.
Yeah. And then in the seventh book, all the places that they apparate to in emergency situations,
right, are places that that Hermione's been. Yeah, Hermione's I did a camping trip here in the summer one time.
Yeah.
So I mean maybe you could be in London, you can be okay, Empire State Building, but I know for a fact that there's some rule somewhere that it's the further it is, the harder it is, and the more likely you are to splinch.
Yeah.
So if for some reason you do want to you do need to talk to somebody in New York or whatever, and you're in London, you can't just apparate there.
Right.
There's other to be fair to Brendan and Matt Mercer, there are better ways of communicating than sending an owl. So
use
they're right
a
on
telephone.
That part. One, there's a telephone. Two, there is sending Patronuses.
Yeah.
They've done that, and that seems to be
Which not everyone can do that though.
Not everybody can do that, but it does seem like the most reliable way of sending a message.
Mm-hmm.
Three, you can use flute powder.
Right.
And you can do that. You can send a message. You can stick your head through the chimney. But I mean, obviously,
owls. It kind of seems like this. Owls are their form of text messages. It's kind of here's a text message. Get to me when you can. Get back to me when you can. Flute powder and Patronus is kind of a.
Patronus is a text message, instant message kind of a thing where it's just yo.
But it comes directly to you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard to.
And it's secure, and it's.
Flute powder is like a landline.
Yeah, flute powder is definitely like a landline. Now,
the Patronus is like a cell phone. It's in your pocket.
Right.
Flute powder is like the landline. You've got to be in your family room where they're if you're not there and they come in the fireplace to say hi.
Right. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
You can't. You're not
And
there.
and that's
you
the
don't
problem.
answer the call.
And that's the problem in the 5th book when Harry tries to talk to Sirius.
Yeah.
And Creature's there, and Creature does not let him talk to Sirius, basically.
That wanker.
Yeah. Okay.
Piss off, creature.
But
Yep.
but I do want to say this in defense of the owls.
Mhm.
Owls seem to be good at finding people to give them a message when they're not normally there.
Yeah.
And Hedwig was able to deliver owls to Sirius when we had no idea where Sirius was.
Right.
And-
I want to defend the owls as well. So
Okay.
keep going, and then I'll
yeah,
say my piece.
I was just gonna say because I think it's in the 4th book where like Harry gets a letter from like a tropical bird, and they're like, oh, I guess Sirius is down south.
right.
And like even though like Harry doesn't put like an address, he's just like Sirius Black, and Hedwig can find him.
Yeah.
And it like even though like they kind of make like a point at some point in the books where like Hedwig might be like an especially good bird
Mhm.
of fight like at delivering, but like there has never been a case in the books where an owl has failed to deliver a letter.
Right.
Like even though it might take a while, and Ron has like Earl, who's like supposed to be like a really bad owl, like they all eventually do get delivered.
Yeah. The worst I've seen is when Umbridge tampers with the mail.
Right.
In the 5th book.
Right. And like that's
all the owls come back and they're like maimed and injured and
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they still delivered it.
But they still delivered it, and like yes, and
She's just doing an illegal act of
yeah.
going through people's mail.
and that is like again that's the problem with the owls, where that's probably like the least secure way of delivering a letter.
Yeah.
Is you're just like, yeah, here's an envelope, I looked it shut, go
Mhm.
ahead, go. Whereas like with a flu powder or the Patronus, you know like exactly who you're talking to and stuff like that.
Right.
Okay.
So what I want to say about the owls, excuse me, is one of their arguments was that owls are the slowest birds, which is probably true. I've never really
I've
thought
never
of
heard that before, but yeah,
and that it's animal cruelty to be using them.
it's also not true.
And I'm like, Now, where I want to argue with that is that they make it pretty clear from the get-go that rats, cats, toads, and owls are like the 4 magical domesticated animals to have as a pet.
Mm-hmm.
They have some sort of magical ability. I have no idea what a toad can do. No idea what a rat can do. I don't even know if rats are in there, but I know cats like Crookshanks, and then you have owls, which are good at delivering mail.
Mm-hmm.
They're being used to their potential. That's what they're supposed to do in that universe, is deliver mail. They've got, and it might be their magical ability might be the ability to find the people that the letter is addressed to. I don't know. But it makes it pretty clear in the series that owls are they have some sort of magic about them.
Right. And like I know like the animal cruelty was like a joke, but like
yeah, it was a joke.
Every time Harry uses Hedwig, she looks excited. She's excited to do it.
Yes.
Same thing with Earl. Earl, like they get like there was like one time where both Hedwig and Earl were like actively excited that they were gonna get sent to do that. Now,
and it's obviously a work of fiction,
and obviously,
unless J K Rowling is Rita Skeeter, then we can start talking about animal cruelty.
And
but
it doesn't matter anyway because Hedwig died.
Right. Wait, what?
Wait, what? Huh? Lily and James, serious? How could you? This is the part where I think Brendan kind of really breaks down. His argument starts to fall apart, where he's like, "Oh, like I can just operate anywhere. Who cares about the bylaws of some school?"
Yeah.
Hogwarts doesn't make the rules, like the laws. Like Hogwarts just has their own rules, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't, like the magic that protects Hogwarts. Like you can't operate in Hogwarts. You can't operate into the burrow.
Right.
Like you have to operate outside of the burrow, and then you walk in because there is spell, like every wizard has spells protecting their house, so
which protects them from a lot of different outside threats.
Yes, so you can't just apparate into the burrow, into Molly and Arthur's bedroom at night and just kill them. That's just like why would you send a mail when you can just drive to somebody's house and like go like, well, because the door's locked, like because like
right,
yeah, maybe like I like that's where I'm kind of like dude, like yeah, yeah, just Hogwarts is just like one of the major places that we know about because we spend like probably 90% of the whole series in Hogwarts.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't apparate into, you can't apparate into Hogwarts. You can't apparate into like a wizard's house. And like at the Ministry of Magic, you're only allowed to apparate like at a certain floor. Like you can't just apparate like between the different floors or anything like that.
I don't think you can even apparate inside the Ministry of Magic at all. I think there's certain people that can. I think the Minister of Magic can, and like some of his close confidants.
Okay, maybe.
But most people travel by flue powder.
Yeah, I know flue powder is like the main.
And the
way.
toilets.
The toilets. I thought there was like a level where it's just like, oh, okay, you can apparate like only in this particular spot. Like
there might be, but I don't
maybe
know
I'm, like,
about it.
Getting the movies confused or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't just apparate willy nilly to like any place. Like, and like depending, I'm assuming depending on like how big they put the bubble around their house, like, but yeah, so like that's like the part where I'm just like, no, you can't just do that. Like one, not everybody can apparate. Two, like you can't just apparate like across the globe or whatever. And three, you can't apparate to like specific locations like that. It's not just Hogwarts. Like everybody does that.
Right.
And then Matt Mercer says, oh yeah, like if Hogwarts were real, it'd be like an Illuminati and it would be like this like super oppressive government. And it's like, you mean the Ministry of Magic, which we already talked about last week, how it is just an oppressive government with laws that don't make sense? Like, yeah, and then yes, absolutely, because once Voldemort takes control of the Ministry, it is absolutely an oppressive piece of crap. Like,
right.
So, anyways, I think that's everything that I wanted to address on that. I don't know if there's any more you want to talk about.
No, I mean, with all of Harry Potter, there's a lot of things that you can be like, why don't they just use a telephone? Why don't they just use,
right,
modern technology?
Yeah, it is. We talked about that last week too, where it's like, for all this magic, like you are certainly losing a lot of convenience by leaving the Muggle world behind. Like,
right. And yeah, those types of things. But J K Rowling does a good job of creating like a world building type thing where it's like it's separate from the Muggles. If everyone was using smartphones, it wouldn't be as interesting.
No, yeah, but like
owls create something there.
It is weird that like apparently the Wizarding world doesn't have like dentistry.
Yeah,
because like Hermione doesn't get her teeth fixed until like she actually has to like go and get them fixed. Like, I don't know. Like there's like stuff like that.
I can't
like
remember that. Yeah.
Like that don't like I mean, yeah. There's stuff like that. But like there's like a lot of stuff about Harry Potter that doesn't make sense when you actually like sit there and like critically analyze it. Mm-hmm. But like this is like, I mean, like one of the times I'm gonna defend like the Wizarding world where I'm like, no, there are actually rules that like make like that like you aren't applying right now.
Yeah.
But like, yes, like why is apparition so hard? Like she kind of explains that, kind of doesn't. It's just like, well, it's complicated magic. Well, what does that mean? It's complicated.
And that goes back to
the
last discussion we had of the power scale.
Right.
Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you make rules where you're like, yeah, Hogwarts, you can't teleport into it. It's unplottable. So you can't make a map like you can't like plot it on a map or anything like that. You're like, oh, okay, well, I don't know why that magic works or how it works, but like it works, so I can accept that. Like,
yeah.
But yeah. So,
and it comes into play in a lot of,
Brendan and Matt Mercer, if you want to discuss this with us, we're ready to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, the Moderately Interesting Podcast. We will debate you about Harry Potter all you want.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I'll send a Mitch on you. Mitch, use a fact. Mitch. It's super effective.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Bears do not. What is going on here?
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
Identity theft isn't a joke, Jim. Millions of families are affected by it each year.
But yeah, I think they did bring up some good points, and it was in a comical,
Yeah, they were just having some
setting,
fun.
so it was funny.
They're just having
The way
fun.
that they approached it was really funny
Yeah, yes.
to watch.
It's fun. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it right now.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to, as somebody who just ripped apart Harry Potter this past week, I wanted to defend Harry Potter a little bit. Oh, just
You
a
felt
little
bad.
bit. I felt bad. It's like kicking a guy when he's down now. It's like kicking
Right.
Harry Potter when he's already broke his glasses.
Harry Potter's not down. I think it's a multi-billion-dollar franchise now.
My
So
glasses.
you're okay.
It's fine.
Where are my glasses?
I can't see anything without my glasses. And that's it. That's been the Moderately Interesting Podcast.
What is Harry Potter's prescription?
He's probably pretty blind.
Yeah.
Okay, again with the Muggle convenience thing. Like if Harry Potter just went to the Muggles and be like, "Yo, can I get LASIK?" Like, is that cool? Like, is that just not a thing? Like, does magic just not have an option for
Right.
that? But like the Muggles do. Like, you see, like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I feel you. I know.
That's
what you're
where I'm
saying.
like, it doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
because I would just be like, oh yeah, like magic's cool and all, but like there's some way convenient things over there, so I'm just gonna live in both worlds. Like,
Right.
and,
Dummies.
and like
Figure it out.
How are like cars? Like those are Muggle. Like, oh, I don't know how to drive a car because that's what Muggles do. But you can take a train, no problem. Like, how is that? How's a train not a Muggle device? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
The Hogwarts Express.
Yeah.
We'll go into that another time because I'd like to talk about those things.
Okay. That sounds.
We're just
cool.
gonna rip Harry
gonna-
Potter to pieces.
We're gonna rip Harry Potter.
Let's go from the first book to the last book and just
rip it.
just tear
Rip
it
it. Rip it good.
up. Bop it,
Twist it.
flick
Pull
it.
Flick it. Pass it.
All right, well that's all for today, right?
That's it for today.
All right.
Okay. Until next week, guys, you've been listening to the Moderately Interesting Podcast. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button.
Mhm.
Tell your friends, tell your aunt, tell your uncle, tell your nieces, tell your
Tell
nephews.
your enemies.
Tell your enemies. Tell the Dark Lord himself to subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Voldemort. Don't say his name. Okay, we're Gryffindor.
I'm a Ravenclaw.
Oh, I think I fluctuate a lot. I'm either a Gryffindor or a Slytherin.
No, that's
It's weird, right? But I'm feeling a little Gryffindor today, so why not?
nice.
Yeah. So subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your dog. Leave a review, please, of the Moderately Interesting Podcast. Anything, any little bit helps us a lot.
Yep, and let us know if we got the Chris cage match right.
Yeah, don't forget to vote in the Hollywood Chris cage match. And and make sure you listen Thursday for our brand new episode of Last Week Today. All right, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Mitch.
This has been the Moderately Interesting Podcast. Make sure to tip your lifeguards. Bye-bye.
Bye.